They call you too quiet, too reserved, like that's a bad thing. But what they don't realize is, while they're running their mouths, you're running calculations. While they're busy making noise, you're analyzing patterns. And when they finally stop to breathe, you've already figured out your next 3 moves. Introverts are not weak. We're wired differently. And today, I'm going to show you a brain hack that makes introverts 50% smarter and far more dangerous. The best part? You won't have to change a thing about yourself. Just unlock the power that's already in your mind. Introverts process the world differently, and that's not just a personality trait. It's science. Studies show that introverts have higher cortical thickness in their prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for deep thinking, problem solving, and decision-making, while extroverts thrive on fast dopamine hits from social interaction. Introverts rely more on acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that enhances focus, learning, and reflection. This means introverts naturally analyze situations more deeply, predict outcomes more accurately, and make more calculated moves, but only if they harness this power correctly. The biggest mistake introverts make? Thinking too much and acting too little. The ability to process information deeply is a weapon, but if not controlled, it turns into overthinking, hesitation, and missed opportunities. Society pushes the idea that confidence equals intelligence, but that's a lie. The smartest people in history, leaders, inventors, and strategists, were not the loudest in the room. They were the ones who observed first, then struck when the moment was right. But here's the problem. Most introverts let the world's noise drown out their internal power. Today, you're going to learn how to reverse that and turn your quiet mind into an unstoppable force. Your brain is like a muscle, and just like any muscle, it needs to be trained for power and efficiency. Cognitive edge conditioning is a method designed to push your mind beyond its limits, forcing it to operate at a higher level than most people ever will. Introverts, who naturally think deeply and analyze everything, can use this technique to become unbeatable in problem-solving, strategy, and decision-making. This isn't just about intelligence. It's about thinking faster, adapting quicker, and seeing what others can't. Step 1. Cognitive tension. Make thinking a battleground. Your brain gets lazy in comfort. It loves predictability and avoids hard thinking. But intelligence grows under pressure, which is why you must challenge your brain daily. Debate smarter people. Put yourself in mentally intense situations where failure is a possibility. Train your mind to operate in uncertainty, so when pressure hits, you don't crack, you dominate. Step 2. Predictive thinking. Be 2 moves ahead. Ever watch a great chess player? They don't react, they predict. Every situation in life has patterns, and if you can see them, you can anticipate outcomes before they happen. Observe people's behavior, study past events, and always ask yourself, what's next? The moment you train your brain to see the next move before it happens, you gain an unfair advantage. Step 3. Mental agility. Flexibility is intelligence. Stubborn thinkers fail because they cling to one plan, one idea, one method. The most dangerous minds are agile, ready to switch strategies instantly when the situation demands. To train this, put yourself in situations where you must adapt quickly. Debate both sides of an argument, solve problems without your usual methods, and always have a backup plan. Flexibility in thinking equals unstoppable intelligence. Your brain is not just a storage unit for random facts. It's a high-performance machine that can be trained for superior intelligence and strategic thinking. Science proves that cognitive tension, predictive thinking, and mental agility are not just good habits. They physically restructure your brain for better performance. When you put yourself in mentally demanding situations, your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making and problem-solving, becomes stronger. This is why challenging your brain daily helps you think faster under pressure. Predictive thinking, the skill of anticipating outcomes before they happen, activates the dopamine reward system, making your brain crave mastery and learning. Mental agility, The ability to adapt quickly strengthens the hippocampus, memory center, and amygdala, emotional control center, improving recall and emotional intelligence. Two traits of high-level leaders and decision-makers. This is not just theory. History's greatest strategists, like Sun Tzu, Napoleon, and modern tech billionaires, apply these principles daily. Their success isn't about raw IQ, but their ability to outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast the competition. If you train your brain to handle uncertainty, spot patterns, and stay flexible, you won't just be smart, you'll be unstoppable. Introverts have an unfair advantage that most people overlook: silence. The world is loud, filled with people who talk just to fill empty space. But introverts understand that silence is powerful. It makes others uncomfortable, forces them to reveal more than they intend, and shifts control in your favor. The next time someone is trying to manipulate you, don't rush to fill the silence. Instead, pause, hold your ground, and let them squirm. You'll be amazed at how quickly they start doubting themselves. Being unpredictable is another hidden strength. The easiest way to be controlled is to become predictable. If people always know how you'll react, they can manipulate you effortlessly. But when you switch your approach, sometimes agreeing, sometimes challenging, sometimes silent, sometimes outspoken, you keep them guessing. The uncertainty makes them uncomfortable, and that discomfort makes you untouchable. Emotional intelligence is where introverts become truly dangerous. People assume that because introverts are quiet, they must be timid or weak. But in reality, introverts absorb everything: body language, micro-expressions, tone shifts, picking up details most people miss. This makes it easy to read deception, hidden motives, and weakness in others. When you start using this awareness to predict people's behavior, you gain control without ever saying a word. The world belongs to those who can see the game being played without becoming a piece on the board, and introverts are naturally built for this. Power isn't about who speaks the loudest, it's about who controls the tempo of the conversation. In job interviews and business negotiations, most people rush to fill silence, oversell themselves, or reveal weaknesses. But the smartest minds know that true power lies in restraint. When you pause before answering, it makes people lean in, wait, and respect what you say next. Instead of trying to prove your worth with excessive words, you let your presence and timing do the work. In social settings, this same principle applies. When you talk less, people begin to project their own assumptions onto you. Instead of appearing passive, you seem mysterious, composed, and in control. The less you say, the more others assume about you, and their own curiosity keeps you in their mind long after you've left the room. The world naturally fears the unknown, and when people can't easily read you, they give you more respect, power, and attention. The greatest leaders in history weren't the ones who talked constantly. They were the ones who spoke with precision and impact. They knew when to listen, when to strategically withhold information, and when to strike with words that changed everything. When you master this balance, people hang on to your every word, waiting for what comes next. And that's when you have them exactly where you want them. The world rewards those who can think, adapt, and act faster than the rest. Intelligence is not just about knowing facts. It's about how quickly and effectively you can process information, recognize patterns, and adjust your strategy in real time. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't raw talent. It's the ability to stay ahead of the curve. High-level thinkers, from military strategists to CEOs, don't just react to problems. They anticipate them, prepare for them, and manipulate the situation to their advantage. The good news: this skill is not something you're born with. It's something you can train. By exposing yourself to cognitive challenges, strategic thinking exercises, and mental agility drills, you can rewire your brain to become faster and sharper. The key is to make this a habit, constantly refining how you process information and make decisions. Over time, this will make you not just smarter, but dangerous in any competition, whether in business, social dynamics, or life itself. The more you push your brain to work under pressure, adapt to unpredictable situations, and think beyond the obvious, the more you separate yourself from the crowd. Intelligence is not about IQ. It's about how strategically you apply what you know. The more you train, the more unstoppable you become. Before applying these principles, you may find yourself overthinking, hesitant, or unsure how to navigate situations effectively. Your mind works against you, constantly analyzing but rarely acting. Social interactions may feel draining, and opportunities seem to slip away as you second-guess your decisions. But once you train your brain to think faster, anticipate moves, and embrace unpredictability, everything changes. You shift from being passive to strategic, from socially awkward to deliberately controlled, from hesitant to quick thinking and confident in your silence. Instead of reacting to the world, you start shaping it. Your ability to process situations faster, adapt under pressure, and remain unreadable makes you someone others respect, or even fear. The long-term effect? You stand out without seeking attention. People begin to recognize your presence before you even speak. Some will admire you, others will be intimidated, but no one will ever underestimate you again. If you've made it this far, you're not just a casual viewer. You're someone who actually wants to level up. But watching alone won't change anything. Test yourself. Apply just one tactic this week and watch how people react to you. Notice how conversations shift, how people start treating you differently. Then, come back here and comment. What changed? What surprised you? The ones who take action will see results. The ones who don't? They will just keep watching, hoping for change. Which one are you? If you're serious about mastering this, hit subscribe, not for me, but for the smarter version of you.